Okay, I'm here. Sorry, I'm a couple extra minutes to the extra minutes on late. Camera laptop wouldn't recognize the camera, so I had to restart the laptop. How are we doing today? Let me get my mic over here. Maybe you could hear me that way. That would be probably a good idea, Jaws. All right. Not that you guys are sick of me by now. You don't want to hear me anyway. So that's okay. So, what did we get last night? I know we didn't get a whole lot of help yesterday. Sabres 5-0. Mammoth beat the Preds. The Bruins beat the Canadians, which at least it wasn't overtime. But damn it, the Blue Jackets beat up on the Lightning 8-5. Hurricanes 4. Senators 1. The Red Wings 5. The Jets 1. The Kings beat the Blues. We beat Minnesota, and then the Oilers beat the Capitals in overtime. They get a point. So we've got our 57 points, and we are now so you have the Sabres technically in the third spot with 63 points. You have the Canadians in the first wild card with 63 points, but they've got 52 games played. The Bruins have 62 points. That's the 8th seed with 52 games played. And then we are tied with a bunch of teams at 57 points. So we're 5 points out of the 8th seed with still having the 2 games in hand. And on the Canadians and the Bruins, we got 2 games in hand on the Canadians and the Bruins. So we're hanging in. We just got to keep winning. Hey, Colin, how you doing? Today's game is on NHL Network. Jeez, that's going to be a pain in the ass because we got to do the NFC Championship game at the same time. So we're going to have that laptop, NHL Network, Ethernet. Jeez. All right, appreciate that. Hey, Mike, you never miss a game on the high seas. I get you there. Scientist says, I think Brad was confused. Last night was supposed to be a regular season game, not a playoff game. He looked really good and fresh last night, didn't he? He can't just limp back into the team with a 3-point night, including the game winner in overtime like is normal. I don't think we'd be having this conversation, Scientist. Without Marchand, we would have been eliminated by Toronto, and Justin Sordiff would be on the third line right now. Hey, Jake. I hear you, bud. Good game, though, man. It was a good game. No doubt it was a good game. We got you. We got you with the Blackhawks today, bud. No problem. Hey, David. David says, I'm missing Manchester United, Arsenal for this trade. Better make it good. Is the East still a cluster beat? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right now, the teams that are behind the 8th seed Bruins are the Panthers, Leafs, Flyers, Capitals. That's 4 teams at 57 points. The Devils at 56. And the thing is that especially Panthers have 2 games in hand. The Leafs have a game in hand. Flyers have 2 games in hand. So it is January 25th, and the Sabres are in the 3rd spot in the Atlantic. That's all we need to know. Oh, David, yeah, I did not see it, unfortunately. Hey, Miami Sports, you saw Svechnikov as a bubble trade candidate? No, I'm happy. I'm happy with our team. Just give me Barkov back and we're good. The weather, we got about 8 inches of snow before the ice started to fall. Ice, freezing rain, sleet, whatever words you want to call, whatever you want to call it. It's a wintry mix outside. We got about 30% snow. Now, what's falling now is about 30% snow, 50% frozen rain. There's some ice. Every once in a while, you hear the windows getting banged with the ice. It's not too windy, but it doesn't seem to be accumulating on the lines or the trees so bad. So that's helping out. Hey, Andres. Patel, do I have an Android TV, Fire Stick, and or Roku? No. No to all of the above. I have an old smart TV that I bought 9 years ago now. Yeah. And I don't have any of that stuff. But what I do is I just use the second laptop, and I have YouTube TV. So I'll put the hockey game on the laptop, and then I just HDMI to the one big TV. We got a 50-inch and a 70-inch. So I HDMI the laptop for the hockey game to the 50-inch, and then we just we got it on the regular TV for the football game. So it works out. At least I'm grateful to know it's on NHL Network, and I wasn't looking for it on ESPN Plus. Jake, yeah, they should be good games. Oh no, Alechka, your parents are in Quebec, have no water. The pipes are frozen into carbon. Oh, geez. They don't have do they use, Alechka, when I was in Alaska, we used like engine warmers and battery warmers. You would have warmers that were connected inside your car overnight. Do they have those? Hey, Steven. He says, all I know is I think how we play until the break is how we should expect to play after the break. Agree. You're 8 degrees Fahrenheit in Northwest Iowa. Jeez. I suspect so, Colin. I suspect everything will be the same with Tarasov and net. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he moved Samoskevich up and Greer down. But he was doing that yesterday throughout the game anyway. I don't know how I feel about any of that. Anderson or Andres, Cooley is mid-March. Jones is probably not until after the Olympics. Gadjevich is probably not until after the Olympics. And Barkov is still undetermined. But it wouldn't be during the regular season. Hey, JC. Colin, yeah, hopefully Greer has a better day today. Yeah. The second penalty they gave to Greer was weak. It really, really was weak. Your dad is finagling something, Alechka. That's what dads do. That's what we do. We'll rig something up. Patel is currently 82 in curls. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay because in August, about my birthday in August, when you guys are at 96 degrees with a low of 82, and I'm posting that I got a high of 70 with a low of 58, so it evens out. It evens out. Hey, Jameson. Yeah, glad to see we have power. Beautiful day for football in the Pacific Northwest. Sunny, clear, and cold. No wind. Very good. Colby says, Bob is the reason why the game went to overtime. Without him, it would have been 5-1 Florida. What? I'm confused. No, I couldn't. I wasn't blaming Bob for those goals, but that's okay. JC says, I've been skating around the block with your stick and puck. Yeah, I know, man. That's crazy. But you guys got power, though, right? Andres, I'm saying the same thing I've been saying for a while. Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. It's just the evil empire is back. The evil empire is back. It just is what it is. You got power? Okay, JC. Good. Now, what are the games we have today? Avalanche Leafs at 1:30. Devils, Kraken, Knights and Senators, Penguins and Canucks. And then the Panthers played at Blackhawks at 7, and then the Ducks and Flames. So the NHL, in its brilliance of scheduling, decided to put a bunch of games on competing with the NFL's championship games. So at least we get to do the AFC championship game. And then the second stream is I'm saying it's going to be mostly hockey, but Kyle's going to hijack it. So I'll do the best I can. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. The Patriots are back. It's obvious. They got a good coach. They got a quarterback. They're back. It is what it is. JC says, one of my neighbors just sent me an image from the security camera. They call me skating. Patel, yeah, Maryland has San Francisco weather during the summers. We get there's usually about a week to 10 days somewhere in July where it just gets nasty, like 102, 98, 102, 104. Like we'll usually have like a week or a week and a half where it's just a high pressure ridge and it's just disgusting hot. The river heats up. You really can't even go out there fishing because the oxygen level. Oh, thank you, JC. Yeah. And then, around my birthday, usually starts to get nice most of the time. Mixed Scientist says Sam Miskevich wanted to build a little bit more stability to that second line's productions. I would like to see him get that opportunity. Like, I don't know, man. It's like I feel differently about it. He really doesn't belong on the fourth line. But Greer has been playing well. But are we better with Greer on the second line and like Schwint in Sam Miskevich's place on the fourth line? I like having Sam Miskevich still in the lineup because if something happens, then you can put him into the top 9 role. I understand what Maurice is trying to do. But with Tkachuk back, being that Samo had the success with Bennett and Tkachuk last year, I kind of like to at least give him an opportunity, to see if he can recreate that this year. Braves fan, at least the Evil Empire has a more likable coach now. Yeah, exactly. Lechka says, how is this fair? The Pats being back the dominant and the Finns can't get it together for a half a century. Life's not fair, is it? Hey, Jake says, try being a Vikings fan. Right? Yeah. David says, I love it in August. Nice weather to go naked skydiving. JC says, your doggo wants nothing to do with the snow. Fluffy would still be outside. I know. Oh, he would be sitting outside in this. Yeah. Yeah, you'd never get him in. Maybe as he got older, he'd get a little bit cold, but anytime before he turned 10, he'd be outside. You ain't getting him to budge, man. He'd just give you the blank stare. Scientist says Greer kept cutting their shifts short because he kept being out on the PK. That's true, too. Let's go. If you want full shifts from that line, I will leave Samuel. Well, and he draws penalties, right? It's very true, Andres. That's exactly what it is. But, that's what happens when you have a good organization in place. You can just it's kind of like with the Panthers. Now we have a good organization in place. And at some point when Barkov and Tkachuk and those guys ride off into the sunset, as long as we still have Zito and we have our organizational structure in place, they may have a down year from here or there, but we should be good. We are the NHL's new evil empire, Andre. So we can only have one evil empire in a location at once. And so the sports gods have chosen hockey to be our evil empire, and I'll take it. I'll take it. We'll get a Dolphins Super Bowl before David and I die, probably, hopefully, maybe. Can Viola buy the Heat and the Dolphins? I don't know. I don't know that Viola has that kind of money. Apparently, Stephen Ross was offered something close to $15 billion, and turned it down. How much is Vinny Viola worth? Like, you can be a billionaire, but okay, so Viola's net worth is about $6.2 billion. So I don't think Viola I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing at the fact that how much is Stephen Ross worth? Like, he apparently turned down $15 billion. Stephen Ross is only an estimated $10.1 billion. So that doesn't make any sense. None of that makes any sense. That doesn't make any sense. If he's worth $10 billion, but he has an NFL franchise that would be worth $15 billion, sounds like some funny business for Texas. Patel says, I don't know. The NFL seems much more watered down now than before. I don't know how I feel about the NHL. What about you? I mean, the game has changed a little bit, obviously, because the skill of the player, the sports science surrounding guys, it's not just all about big guys clutching and grabbing. So I think the sport has naturally changed in that manner in the NHL. Where in the NFL, it kind of just feels more forced. It feels more of a purposeful change. I mean, with some of the rules, it would just watch highlights of any 1980s quarterback, and I mean, just watch highlights of Marino. Every third or fourth pass, he was getting absolutely obliterated, and he would just get up and play the game, shake it off, and go play. Now these guys get shoved. If a defenseman takes two steps and shoves a guy, it's, oh my God, it's pass interference, and it feels like it's been done on purpose to the NFL, where it feels like with the NHL, the shift in the game is just a little bit more natural. Hey, Derek. What happened, Olechka? How old is Ross? He already said he's just leaving the team to his son-in-law. He's keeping it in the family. So, I don't know how much is going to change. Scientist says, crazy how Bobby can keep winning these games consistently below 900. Wonder how many other goalies have 20-plus wins this season with those numbers. Let's take a look. Come on. All right. So goalies, if you go by wins, come on, sort it by wins. There we go. Okay. So where the hell's Bobrovsky? Oh, there he is. Okay, so Vejmelka has 25 wins in a 901. Vasilevsky 22 with a 2-1 with a 918 and a 213. Gibson has 21 wins with a 906 and a 262. Bobrovsky has 20 wins with a 875 and a 308. Soros has 20 wins with a 895 and a 304. Wedgwood has 20 wins with a 918 and a 214. Let's see if there's anybody else close. Dostal has 18 wins. He's below 900. Skinner has 17 wins below 900. But by far and away in terms of the worst combination of save percentage and goals against is Bobrovsky, but he's fourth in wins. The only guys with more wins are Vejmelka, Vasilevsky, and Gibson. That's it. Soros is tied with him, but I mean, he's 895. Bob's at 875. Yeah, dang. But he keeps winning games. Yeah, I hear you, Andres, about the logo. Hey, Derek. Colin, what's my thoughts on the new offensive coordinator? So I don't mind since it's a low-cost buyout and high risk but high reward. I guess I heard that he was the passing coordinator for the team last year. I was kind of hoping for a complete redo, restructure, whatever. Like, I'm not sure how you take the passing coordinator from last year and just make him the offensive coordinator this year. But it's kind of like everything else is like, all right, I guess we'll just wait our 3 to 5 years and find out if these guys are any good. Hey, Jake, we had a great time with that goalie fight, man. We had a blast. I put a clip out on the channel. We had a blast with that, man. Hungry says, I opened up Twitter and the first thing I see is if you crash tonight doing donuts in the parking lot, that's between you and Jesus. We're tired. Louisville Police Department. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny, Hungry, because I have a story from when I was 15 and I was out for Halloween with a friend of mine who had a Camaro, and it was pouring rain. We came home from a party and it was pouring rain. And before he took me home, we went to the empty Kmart parking lot and we were doing donuts in the parking lot. I don't know I've ever been so scared for my life. I'm like, you idiot, what are you doing? Is that right, Olechka? Huh. She says, totally unrelated, but last night I was listening to Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation album, and then in the beginning of the Black Cat, I could have sworn it's the same growl as our goal alert sound. That's maybe you're onto something there. Al says Maurice is playing Bob too much is why he wins more. I think Bob is playing Bob too much. Mike says that's because anybody else with Bob's numbers wouldn't be in as many games as he would, or he would have been traded. Bob looks a lot better with Marchand on the ice to win the game in overtime. I'm just saying. Right? Craig says, Bob looked better. He'll round into Bob Robsky soon. Jameson says, Bob gets a hard reset on the season with the Olympic break. That's why I think he's getting more starts. Yeah, we agree there, Jameson. That's kind of what I was thinking here recently as well. Sounds identical, electrical. I'll have to check that out. Hey, Kazuma says, I never understood these billionaires that buy teams and treat them like a hobby or a cash cow. As long as they make money, they don't care to improve the team. Well, I mean, we can't include Ross in that, though. Ross has spent money. You know what I mean? That's the one thing he's always been willing to do. He just doesn't make great decisions. And I guess we'll find out. We'll find out if this is Jeff Ireland and Joe Philbin all over again or not, I guess. We got to wait our prerequisite 3 to 5 years, at least 3 to 5 years. Because do we have a quarterback? I don't know. David says, anyone throwing shade at Bob simply doesn't understand the style we play or the game. Save percentage is like ERA, one of those stats that doesn't tell the whole story. It's timing and quality of saves that matters. Yeah, they look energized again, Alechko. And to David's point, like I said this in the recap last night, there was a sequence last night that shows the kind of luck that Bobrovsky is having. So I don't remember who the players were, but Minnesota has the puck about mid-circle. Dude takes the shot. I thought Samoskevich had blocked the shot, but what it was the stick broke. So instead of the shot just bulleting towards the net, it kind of ping-ponged off of one wild guy to the next wild guy who was right there at the side of the net, and Bob made the save. But that's kind of been the stuff that's just been happening, where it's just like two things can be true at once. His glove he's got a problem with his glove. He missed another one with his glove last night. There's a problem with the glove. But other than that, he's also been a victim of some really crappy luck, too. Al says the Blues want a Rasmus Anderson type return for Justin Falk. Falk spent most of his career as a first shot offensive defenseman, but the Blues have pushed him to a more defensive role. Discord rumor of Forsling for Falk. What? Come on. Not you, Owls, but come on. Now, on what planet? Why would we, can you imagine the hellfire and damnation? Who is starting rumors about Forsling? I'm looking at his contract because first of all, he's got a full no move clause. So there's that. Like, who's starting these rumors? And how do they get to who is starting these rumors? Dell says, yesterday felt like old times. Most of the team back blaming Ekblad. Just forgot to say Dr. Ekblad, where them drugs at? Yeah, exactly. Good point. Let's just says the Cats keep fooling us, Jaws. Remember when they had a long bad stretch last season? We all said they were gassed. Don't put that. I guaranteed playoffs 3 days ago. No, man, I guaranteed playoffs 3 days ago. Golden said, what record do you think we would be at without our injuries at this time? I mean, we're considering we're only like 2 games worse than we were last year at this time. I mean, I honestly feel like if we hadn't had all these injuries, we'd be in the 1 or 2 hole. I mean, all these guys got to be worth 10 points, right? Which still wouldn't put us in the 1 or 2 hole, honestly. So, I mean, we'd be in a playoff position for sure, but maybe not the 1 or 2 spot. 10 more points would have us in the 3 spot over the Sabres. So maybe about there. Al says, I believe Falk originally came to the Canes, so they wanted to trade him to the West. Now's their chance to get him from the Blues. Yeah. Not him as the player, but you can't go trading Forsling. That would destroy the locker room. Yeah, exactly, Andres. Yeah, Robbie bankrupted himself to create that stadium, too. It's a Leafs Discord. Gotcha. Right. I see. Yeah, the Leafs Discord, they at some point the Leafs Discord has got a rumor about every player. Every Panther player is always being traded and always leaving. I would like to, you know how they do the ins and hungry. Yeah, send me that. Send me that. Let me know what you say I'm looking for. You know how the Scripps channel, the Panthers channel, do like these behind the scenes type of videos. Can we get a behind-the-scenes video of Bill Zito reading the Discord rumors? Like, can we get a behind-the-scenes video of when he reads, like, we're going to trade Forsling or all these other rumors that come in? Remember it was going to be Stamkos and all of that. Like, I would just love to see his reaction to those rumors. That would make for prime entertainment. Hey, well, not today, Kazuma. Not today, Kazuma. I mean, I don't want to break the camera. We got about a foot of, maybe not a foot of snow. We got like 8 inches of snow, and then it's frozen rain on top of it. Hopefully next summer, late spring, summer. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to get out into the bay again because the river grew up with so much grass this last year. Spring fishing was really good. And then we had a hot streak. What do you call it? A heat wave. And then all the grass grew up and sucked all the oxygen out of the river and the fish left. So unfortunately, if that happens again this year, I'm going to have to take the kayak out into the bay. And you guys can watch me get eaten by a bull shark on camera. Hungry says Leafs Discord is slightly less idiotic than Leafs Reddit, which says a lot. The reason people are saying get Falk because he was originally known for being an offensive D who could score before the Blues forced him to be more defensive. Right. I just, not to you. This is not about to you, but I don't accept the premise. Like, I don't accept the premise of need. Ekblad, Forsling, Jones, Mikula, Kulikov, Balinskis. Like, I don't accept the premise that we need anybody if everybody's healthy. You know what I mean? I mean, whatever numbers Falk would produce that might be a little bit more offensive than Forsling is not worth. You don't just break up the locker room like that. In my opinion, anyway. Tell says Hockey Eye still the Panthers at 16 in his power rankings. That's about right. Exactly, scientist. Oh, I'm looking for my favorite player. You sent it? All right, hold on a second. Hold on. I hope that this is good news. I'm waiting. Here it goes. Let me see. Now, is this going to be one of those analytical colored things? Yeah, I can't read this. What does it mean? What does it mean, Hungry? Hold on. I'll share it. I can't see that. I see dark and light. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to share this. And then y'all can tell me how bad Samoskevich is, because I think that's what this is going to say. I don't know. All right, what is it saying? I'm going to go back to the chat. I'm going to leave that there. What does it mean? Because that is way beyond my power. Bar goes left, bar goes left, bad. Bar goes right, good. I see. So then that means saying Samo bad, Nikola, Petrie, Balinskis, Bornfoot bad. Huh. I mean, he had him on the fourth line. I mean, some of these guys got left. Oh, I see. So he only had a bad effect. Is that what it's saying? That I don't know. I mean, he had him on the fourth line. He's misusing them. Patel, I don't know, honestly, right now, because I don't have the equipment now to do 2 streams at once, unfortunately, because the other laptop's not working properly. And I can't. So the AFC Championship game, let me start here. The AFC Championship game starts at 3. That should be over by about 6. But the NFC Championship game starts at 6:30, but the Panther game starts at 7. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. We're going to kind of play it by ear. Because we don't know if the first game is going to go into overtime, if it's going to run long. I got to find out from Kyle. You know, he's going to fight me on it, right? I'm going to want to do the hockey game. He's going to want to do the football game. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a pregame stream in because I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. So we'll judge that as the first football game is going on. So, all right, let me stop sharing this. So, scientist says Mackey was even except for his play driving, which was negative. I don't have the equipment to do 2 things at once. That's why. Hey, David. Specifically his offense. Let me. So, how do they come up with those numbers? Now, I'm not arguing for or against it. Well, I don't know. Like, I can do the preview from the couch. Let me go back to this. Because now I'm going to look at this. I'll give you my eye test from, see, like, because some of these guys had negative and then they had positive, right? So, like, Greer had, like, a whole bunch of penalties, so he screwed up the most. And then he had some positive thing. I guess they got a little eensy-weensy, teeny-tiny thing here with Samo. Right? I mean, yeah, he's not really going to drive play on the 4th line. You know what I mean? Cunnin had a little bit there. Vilmanis had a little bit there. I don't know. I use my eye. I mean, I said it yesterday. I don't think he's best used on the 4th line. Like, if you're not going to have him with Bennett and Tkachuk, just sit him and let Schwint be on the 4th line. Okay, Alechka. He was also the only player in there. Are you trying to trigger me? It is not bad. It's 21 degrees in heavy snow. And Hungary's over here trying to trigger me when I got to be on camera for 8 hours today. This is a conspiracy now. Hey, Dietrich. Scientist says Bennett with Samo and Chucky's got to stay. Craig, I don't know if Mackey's really belongs on the 4th line, though. Like, I just don't know that he's physical enough. Hungry. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Scientist says Vilmanis, Cunnin, and Greer should be the 4th line. I mean, I see it both ways. Like, I see what Maurice is doing with Greer, but to me, I'm kind of like Sam Miskevich did so well with Bennett and Tkachuk last year, and he's been struggling. Admittedly, been struggling. Like, maybe now's the time to reunite him with the guys that he did well with last year. But then we are desperate for points, so it's not the time to experiment and find out if something's going to work. So he's kind of in a position that way. So who do I expect to be scratched for rest unless they'll keep it the same? To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he sat Sam Miskevich and put Schwint in. He either has to put Greer back on the 4th line and let Samo go with Bennett and Tkachuk and see what happens, or leave Greer there and put Schwint in on that 4th line. Sam Miskevich is not a 4th line player. I don't see any profit in it for us. And Schwint is a big guy that had been playing well. Did I see Berube after his accident? No, I didn't see. Hold on a second. I didn't even know. What the hell? Oh, a gym accident? Come on, Yahoo Sports. Just show me the thing. Oh, geez. Oh, yeah. That's great. It happens. Yeah, that looks nasty, right? Yeah. Yuck. Craig says, but that's it. Mackey speed creates offense. Schwint and Vilmanis aren't really hitters either, but can play defensively well. That gives the other lines rest during the game. I mean, it's in terms of Samoskevich, I get it. Like, I feel like with Bennett Kachuk, he could create some speak, Jaws. I feel he could create some chaos and some opportunities there for those guys. But Greer has also been doing a good job of that until last night when he decided to take 2 penalties, one of which was really not all that bad. We won the game, so maybe just Maurice will say just leave it the way it is, right? But we do have a dilemma there because if Barkov is going to come back, if you're not going to have Samoskevich with Bennett and Kachuk, you want Greer on your fourth line, and now we might need to get a winger. You know what I mean? If you're not going to give Samoskevich here a few weeks to see how he can play with Bennett and Kachuk, you're putting yourself in a position. Right, exactly. Samo being waivers exempt may end up being a major factor later this season. 100%. So Patel, about the weight on his head. So when I was, 16, 17 years old, I was on the floor in my bedroom, and we had the phone, the house phone with the long cord, right? And the little 3 and the 5 pound metal weights, the dumbbell weights, and they got the little hole in the middle. So I guess one of them was a 5 pound weight. So I'm laying on the floor in my bedroom. I'm talking to my girlfriend, and I got this 5 pound metal weight, and I'm spinning it while I'm talking to her. And I'm spinning it, and I'm spinning it, and it came right off of my finger and poof, busted my front tooth. And my mom had to go get my tooth repaired. And to this day, my dad, because this is what he did when he was a kid. When he was a kid, he was a greaser. And the hot thing to do back then, apparently, was try to open up beer cans with your mouth. And you were hot shit if you can open up a beer can with your mouth. So I dropped this weight on my face. And he's like, "You dumbass, you tried to open up a beer can with your mouth." I'm like, I'm laying there, I've got blood. The weight is laying right next to me. There's no beer. I don't even like beer. I'm 16. But to this day, he insists that I must have tried to open up a beer can with my mouth, hid the beer, come back, planted the weight next to me, and made up a story about the weight busting my tooth. And my mom was just like, "Ronnie, the weight is right there." Oh, but that's what dads are for, I suppose. Dietrich. Yeah. Lundell, Lusterine, and Marchand still makes sense. For now, for sure. They always produce, right? Hungry says, how long until Dangle says Berube is clearly concussed, and that's why the Leafs are struggling. Chucky and Rhino are great in front of net feeding and cherry picking. Yeah, I feel good about it, right? And oh God, I don't even like beer. Like in my entire life, I've maybe had 2 combined beers. Like the only time I've liked beer is like there was like a 1 year period where like if you froze Ling Ling, if you like got it to where it was like a slushy, I could drink like a third of it. But once it wasn't like almost ice, I didn't want it. The good news is that the dentist did a really good job. This would have been 1986. The dentist did a really good job. The tooth has stayed fine. It's the right color. Nothing's happened to it. Scientist says, look at what Zito did the first day of the season. We needed to be as close to 3817,293 over the cap as possible. Moving Samuel down brought us to 3775, which was as close as possible. Right. Yeah, on that, I know. I remember he brought him down on that first day. I remember that, right. I mean, that might end up being what happens. We still don't. It still doesn't matter in terms of having money to go get anybody. It still doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And it all depends on when we hear if Barkov's coming back or not. Yeah, Samo is an asset for cap manipulation. It's another good way to look at it. Did I see the Marlins limited edition hockey jersey? No. No, let me look at that. Come on, Jaws. Type. Jesus. Oh, is that the one with, is it the white one with like a black marlin on it? Is that the one that I'm looking at? It looks like it was 4 days ago that showed up. If that's the one, that looks pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It almost looks a little bit like San Jose Sharks. A little bit. That's actually pretty cool. It's a little plain. I like the shoulder. It needs something on the sleeves. It's a lot of white. Oh, I'll show it. This is what he's talking. Cost $40 for the ticket to a game. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna show it. Yeah. Here we go. There we go. This is the one he's talking about. It's a lot of white. I like the marlin. I like the stripes. But we need a little. That's a lot of white. You guys, let me know what you think. But $40 for the ticket to the game, that's not bad. Yeah, the old logo. I still call them the Florida Marlins half the time. Yeah, it needs some colors on the shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, you see some San Jose with it. Yeah, a little bit, right? It's just this is a lot of white here on the chest and the arms. But $40 for the ticket, that's not too bad of a price. The stripes are pretty well done. The thicker stripe here to the bottom looks pretty cool. They're bringing back the teal for Sunday games. Well, Kyle will be happy to hear that once we start the baseball channel. Right, Kyle? Is he awake? Yeah, he's awake. Boy, it's warm in here, but I got to leave the house heat on today because I don't want to take the chance if we do lose power. So we're going to have the downstairs is still freezing cold, but upstairs it's like 68 degrees, which is hot for us these days. Usually I keep it about 62. Usually that's about where we keep it. Not sure on the roster, Andres. I don't pretend to be like an intricate knowledge baseball fan. I'm more of just like a what's the word that I would use? I mean, I used to be an in-depth baseball fan. I used to be able to tell you everything about the Marlins, but I stopped following the game. At least, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago, I stopped following baseball. Too much player movement. Like I couldn't pay attention anymore. It's happened a little bit in football too. With baseball, it's just been ridiculous. Like you can't even like there's no we drafted a guy and he's our player and he stayed with us for his whole career and it's just mercenary after mercenary after mercenary. If you don't pay attention intricately every 6 months, everybody's on different teams and I don't know, kind of detracted from the sport for me a little bit. Maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm just old. It is what it is. What's the first hockey game for today? Avalanche and Leafs play in about a half hour. Go Colorado. We'd like to see another dangle meltdown, please. And thank you. Let's see. Do we know who's in net? Is Stolarz going to be in net again today? Let me see. Let's see what NHL has to say here. Blackwood versus Woll. So Woll is going to be in today. So all they did was throw Stolarz out there to get rocked against the Knights in Marner's return game, and now they're going to go back to Woll. Yeah, the 03 team was your favorite with Pudge. Yeah, that was a fun team. You know, being a Marlins fan is tough, man, because there's just no trust, right? Like it's like you got married and she cheated on you, and then you took her back, and she cheated on you again, and now I don't trust you all that much. You know, it's after those fire sales. If you lived through that first fire sale, it was just absolutely surreal. I think the salary cap hurts sports, especially hockey. I mean, when they leave it a flat cap for too long because of COVID, that obviously hurt. I think hockey's actually done a pretty good job of managing things. Football has gotten stupid. Football has just gotten stupid. You got schmucks like Tua out there getting 50, 55 million, whatever it is, getting more than a third of a salary cap. Like that would be like paying your goalie almost $30 million, right? Except there's only 20 other guys or so that you need to fit under the salary cap, where in football it's like 50 something. Football has really butchered it. The money that quarterbacks get is just never going to be worth it. Mike says, no, I think the baseball can use the salary cap too. I mean, I'm not Charles, but I'll throw my opinion out there. No, yeah, that's fine. That's cool. It's free. I think he meant for the chat. Real says, I blame the Browns for giving Watson that deal and the Giants paying Daniel Jones $45 a year. It's just stupid. I mean, I always quote this stat, but it's basically true. How much did Dan Marino over his entire career earned approximately $50 to $51 million for his whole career. And Tua gets more in a season. Now, I know that the game has grown, but come on, bro. Right? Like, come on. Is that a Dolphin issue, a salary cap issue? Well, it's going around. Like Absolute says. I mean, they gave the Deshaun Watson. Jesus. I mean, what was his contract? $80.7 million cap hit, a $46 million base salary, and in the one season, he had an $80 million cap hit. 5 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed. And that was after everything had come out against him. David says, so I'm going to say the Finns are further away from a Super Bowl than the Marlins are from a World Series. As long as the Marlins don't fire sale every time they get good. I mean, there was a period of time, even after the second World Series, where every time they get a good player, the only thing they did with them was try to find a way to get rid of them. You know, in baseball, because of the Dodgers, the fans on a salary cap. Dak is the highest quarter. Let me see. That might be right. Who? Dak Prescott, $60 million a year. 4 years, $240 million, which includes $231 million guaranteed. What do they win? 6-7 games last year? Just be thankful I wasn't Deshaun Watson's masseuse. Dak is ass or Dak is Dak. They just got no business, these guys, making that much money in comparison to, their importance today. I mean, it's what the game has become. You know what I mean? And that was my point, was I think hockey's done a relatively good job. Like, you would kind of compare the goalie to the quarterback, right? And the goalie is usually, at least most of the time, not the highest paid player on the team. Am I ready for that Bryce Young $70 million deal? Wait till they go to sign Drake May. Wait till that one, especially if he wins the Super Bowl. David says the Finns can't even get hiring a coach right. We draft horrible and have no apparent plan. Is anybody picking the Rams over the Seahawks? No. Probably Kyle. Maybe Kyle Dietrich. Hungry says Marlins can't even afford a backup level contract in the current day. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I stopped watching baseball. It just got to a point where the player movement, the salaries, but the salaries with football are worse now. I don't know how you rein it back in either. Real says I still trust Stafford over Darnold, but I think Seattle wins. The Patriots are going to beat the Seahawks again in the Super Bowl. Everything is happening again. Panthers won again. Just saying. Stafford's easily the best quarterback left. I don't know. I don't trust New England not to win. We'll put it that way. Someone says, I think to the other sports compared to hockey, players have too much power. Yeah, no, good point. Shohei Ohtani. Let's see. $10 years, $70 million contract with the Dodgers. The deal is unique, with $680 million deferred, resulting in a $2 million yearly salary for the Dodgers while playing 2024 to 23, with the remainder paid out from 2034 to 2043. Now, the competitive balance tax, I guess that's the tax that they use, it ends up being roughly $46 million a year. Wow. And so they're going to sell being good now, right? They'll sell being good later for now. So you think he generates way more revenue than what he's getting paid? Now, and I'm not even arguing for or against it, but 700 million, he generates more than 700 million revenue. I mean, I don't know. I'm in the wrong business, I guess. I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, imagine McDavid with that kind of contract. Oh my God. I mean, baseball is allowing that. Like football, especially hockey. Hockey doesn't allow that. Hockey doesn't even let you restructure things the way football does. In football, a guy signs a contract. It's like, yeah, whatever. We'll just restructure, clear some cap space, move some bonuses around. Like in hockey, sign a contract. That's it. That's it. We can waive you. We can trade you with your permission half the time. That's it. Going to be a work stoppage soon in MLB. Is the 70 million enough? Is the 70 million not enough, eyes? Like, what are the cheap players getting? They're still getting a few million a year, right? Hey, Windy City, how you doing, bud? Good luck tonight, man. Not too good, though. I think we need the points more than you guys. You don't mind sitting down, do you? Let me see. You guys probably need the points just as bad as we do, don't you? Yeah, you guys are the same distance from the playoffs as we are. Damn it. Well, good game. We'll give you a point. How about that? Let us get the 2 points. So they're getting like 3 to 4 million a year. Gotcha. I said it's going to defer a super chat. You get 5 now and 10 is paid out in 5 years. Right? Yeah. Yeah, as long as I don't have to pay full taxes on it up front, we're good. Well, Ohtani brings in 100 million to 120 million annually for the Dodgers. Huh. All right. So, I mean, I guess if it's revenue neutral, right? Ah, I thought it was all good, Wendy. Huh? You guys got Spencer Knight out of it, right? You guys got Spencer out of it. Yeah, the Blue Jays Dodgers there was no doubt that was a beautiful end to a World Series. Blue Jays were going to win it until Colin and I started streaming it. And you see how that went. That's our bad. Only Messi and Ronaldo bringing more money than Ohtani. That's how big he is. Hey, thank you, Eyes. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you, bud. Hungry says it's not about how much Ohtani brings in. It's about his teams, about teams in big markets being encouraged to hoard superstars and ruin it for the vast majority of teams. Right. The world has people in it that don't know the NFL or NBA. What? The world does revolve around us. I'm confused, David. You mean we're not in control? Yeah, yeah, exactly, Windy City. You guys made out okay. Oh no, Eyes. What happened? That's okay. It's all right, Eyes. It works out. Hockey fights cancer tonight. Are you going to be wearing the special jersey? What did Hungry say? Oh, yeah. Yeah. The smaller market teams. I mean, and then they just end up selling their players to the bigger market teams anyway. Everybody knows that the Dolphins, the ones in the water, are truly in control. Jaws puts the tinfoil hat on. Boy, that heater's running today. Jeez. Because someone said, that's why I get into arguments with Americans telling me the Super Bowl is the biggest event in the world. Well, TV told us that. See, that's what TV said. Right? Who's going to be at the Super Bowl show? Or is that Bad Bunny? That's right. Think that's who it is? Otani is a big gambler. Two, 2-1. What's that, David? Colin Campbell is secretly a Dolphin. All right. Oh, I got you. All right, everybody. I'm going to roll. 3 o'clock. We'll be live on the football channel. And then that's for the AFC Championship game. And then I'll sort out. I got to get with Kyle and figure out how we're obviously going to be live for the hockey game. How we handle the NFC Championship game. It might just end up being a double stream. We'll have to figure it out. Bad Bunny in his dress performing at halftime. Washed up Green Day during pregame. I see. Awesome. Fantastic, Hungry. Jeez. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. And I'll see you in less than 2 hours on the other channel, the other channel.